Well, hey everyone, welcome to the final week of our Expectant Hope Advent series. I hope you find both these videos and the companion devotional helpful during this Advent season. And if you haven't followed along the past 3 weeks, that's completely okay. I encourage you to jump in this week and get yourself centered on Jesus as we enter the home stretch of the Christmas season. In this, our final week of Advent, we'll be focusing on the lead up to Jesus' birth. Now, there's 3 things that I want you to be mindful of as you walk through this final week. First of all, look out for the prophecies that foretold of Christ's coming. Centuries earlier, God had spoken of the nature and location of the Messiah's birth. He told us the names Jesus would bear and the family line from which he would come. Don't overlook the remarkable nature of these prophecies foretold years previously, now fulfilled in Jesus' arrival. Second, be mindful of the people that God uses in the Nativity story. True to form from the Old Testament and continuing now into the New, God uses the poor and the weak and the outcast to accomplish his plans on earth. Jesus wasn't born to a king and a queen in a royal palace, but rather to a young, poor couple in a stable. And the news of his birth wasn't announced to the religious leaders of the day, but rather to a group of poor, ostracized shepherds. These truths should speak encouragement to us today, reminding us that the only prerequisite to being used by God is a willingness to be used by God. We don't need to have attained a certain standard or position to be part of his plans. Take note of the people God uses in this story. And third, don't miss the promise of God communicated here. For more than 1,600 years, the church has used this season of Advent to reflect not only in the first coming of Jesus, but also in his second coming that lies ahead. The arrival of the Messiah some 2,000 years ago heralded the beginning of the end of this era. It foreshadowed a time when God's kingdom would fully come, a time when pain and sickness and death would be fully eradicated, a time when we will live and breathe and worship in the very presence of God. So as we walk through this final week before the celebration of Christ's birth, keep your eyes open to see the prophecies fulfilled. Take note of the kinds of people God uses, and take hope in the glorious promise of God's second coming. Merry Christmas, everyone.